Moving pictures.
Southeast.
Oh, yeah.
Can you do 4 Bravo, please?
Okay. Oh. On the practice funnel, right?
Yes. 4 Bravo.
Johnny Brown. Let's see.
4 Bravo.
Alright. So guys, there are other ways to do this problem, but I highly recommend that you go through multiple puberties. That was about my 5th one. You change this to improper fractions. Because real quick, just to show you, real quick, if I try to do it this way, if I make this into 6 over 9, is that cool? Multiply by 3, multiply by 3, do you see that? To make it the same as this? If I do that, that is more than this. Then I have to do the weird-ass borrowing thing, and I'm trying to tell you, you really don't have to do that. Make it improper. Make it improper. Alright? So what? Yes?
I was just thinking, so anytime you try to reduce like that and it's not if there's 2 fractions you're trying to reduce and they're not improper fractions, then it's kind of wrong because you're changing the value of each fraction.
I'm not sure. You can't subtract this directly because there's more here than there is there. So you'd have to borrow from the 2, but that's easy to make mistakes when you do that because it's not something we do all the time. Right? It's the same thing as doing, what do you got, Jeff? 41 minus 29. You've got to borrow, don't you? Because this is less than this. This is less than that, I'd have to borrow. If you want to do that, feel free. Otherwise, you change this into an improper fraction. So what do you get here? 20?
20 over 9.
And then you just make that into over 9, and you'll be done. So change it to improper. You don't have to worry about borrowing and all that kind of stuff. Right?
Then reduce, right?
It's all on the answer key. If you understand this step to this step, that's all there is to it.
Multiply this side by 3.
Say again? Sorry?
You multiply this side by 3. Right?
Yeah. It's on the answer key though. That's why I made that, so I wanted to do it once. But oh well. Please do pay attention to the little note at the bottom on the back of the practice final, right? There's going to be more problems than that. I just got tired at the end and just said...
You're not going to have any of the Fahrenheit Celsius crap on there, are you?
Maybe because you said it that way, I will. No, guys.
I think you're so more kids.
Guys.
I literally, like, my brain was just like...
No, I don't understand this. You should be. I think it's because you think it's something different. But if I said A plus 2B plus C, A is 2, B is -1. I mean, you guys cool with this kind of problem? C is 5. Wouldn't you want me to give you a lot of these problems? If not, then I don't understand you, because that's gotta be an easy problem. Like if I give you this and I tell you what each letter is, you plug it in and you do the work. It's not, and that's awesome. That is one step away from what this is. It's an equation, but it's the same idea. If I say I have, what do you got? 40 degrees Celsius. And I want you to change that to Fahrenheit. Well, where do I put this number? Yeah, it's Celsius, so I put it there. And then you just simplify it, right? So what if I told you Fahrenheit instead? Well, then you use the other equation. Right? If I gave you something in Fahrenheit, you just put it here and then you do what this says. And this is a relatively simple little thing to do, right? So I'm not sure why. I need to figure out why.
Is it so from Celsius
Would it be like? Alright, hold on.
So let's do this problem here. So I put the 40 there, right?
Right. And is it multiplied by 9 or divided by 5 or something like that?
Yeah, you can put the 40 over 1 if you want to. Right?
Yeah, so
5 goes into 40. Eight times 9. I don't understand. It's not voodoo. What's happening? So
It is voodoo. That is
Bring the dough.
Santeria chicken
Yeah.
slam.
no, it's not. I mean, come
He's not
on.
Cuban. He's not American. He's Cuban.
All right. All right.
It's this 9 over 5 jump, 5 over 9. It's
Who
like,
cares?
I care! 'Cause
No,
my
no, no,
brain
no, no,
is
no,
not
no. Stop, stop.
processing.
Who cares? I'm gonna let you use a calculator. So if I give you something that 5 doesn't go into, you just do 9 divided by 5 times it. I mean, it's. I don't understand why this is a big deal, to be honest. If I tell you, so if I said, can you guys, if number 1 on the test is 5/9 times 13, and I'm letting you use your calculator, are you honestly going to be angry at me about putting that problem on there? What is it about this that's the trouble? I don't understand.
The 5 over.
The fact it's a fraction.
Who cares? You guys are killing me. How do you put this in your calculator?
5 divided by 9.
5 divided by 9
5
times 13. Right? Right? What's a fraction? What's the operation a fraction denotes? Division. So it's just a bunch of numbers.
You got Jeff Farley here.
Oh my God! He's here.
Jeff's got Jeff Farley here.
Jeff, can we multiply 13 with that 5 and then divide by 9?
What's that?
Jeff Farley.
Can we multiply between 13 and 5 and then divide by 9?
That was a miracle.
I'm so, where are we at? Which one are we looking at? The one I just erased? What was it? 5/9 times something, right? 14 or whatever.
Yeah, so I said, can we multiply for doing the 5 and then divide by 9?
So you just
Of
put
course,
one
of course.
That's it?
It works.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
For shite's sake.
So I'm looking for
We fixed that so this is not.
Just go like this.
Oh, it's still
Distracting.
jacked.
Put some saliva in your head. Just do that. Yeah.
Oh, that's good now.
We already find out you're eating it. There you go.
Is that good?
Yeah, that's better.
All right. All right. I'm sorry, guys. I don't mean to make it sound like I'm angry at you. It's just frustrating for me because I can't really get to the problem. I can't really see what it is about it that's giving anybody any real trouble.
You don't
all you
you're
have
here
to do is
this.
plug into the calculator.
That's all
5
you
times
gotta
14
do. And it's
divided
not, if
by
I
5
give you
times
something that 5 goes into, that's nice. It'll come out to be a nice whole number. If 5 doesn't go into it evenly, it's going to come out to be some kind of a decimal, right? But really, it's just a question of, it really should just be a question of which one of these do you use, right? If I know F, I'm going to use this one because it's already solved for C. If I know C, I'm going to use this one because it's already solved for F. These are actually the same equation. I don't know if you guys, I don't think I made that point big enough. If I just subtract 32, oh shit, and then multiply by the reciprocal, oh shit, these are the same freaking equation. They're the same equation. It's just I solved one for F and I solved the other one for C. So it's done for you. Just got to plug the number in. That's it. Yes, sir. Are you good? Okay.
That's scary. No, it's not.
What's up? Is it scary? It's not scary? It's scary. All right. My hair is scary? Oh, well.
You won't come up with the test, right?
My hair? No. I don't have a question on my hair.
By the end of the final, it's going to be receding.
I'm just glad it's still
He's gonna come up curly after he's He's your eyes matching your hair.
That's what I said. Instead of Chris Farley, it's Jeff Farley.
Aw.
All right, guys, let's focus. I should just wear like a skin cap. So I can bald on the day of the fun.
Yes.
Conversions, definitely. I'm going to give you the a box of conversions like I did on the test, right?
Better now?
They will be on there, yes. I tell you though, I don't want to make it, everything's important. But one of the key things to come out of this class with is the ability to solve equations. Because you're just going to start, that's the bread and butter of basic mathematics. It's just being able to solve equations. Because when you go out and you try to figure something out in the real world, you collect data and you set up an equation. If you don't know how to solve it, you ain't going to know shit. I mean, this is, I know you guys think that all this stuff is made up. But it so desperately isn't. There's equations everywhere. And I could do the stupid, you couldn't have a smartphone if you didn't have equations. I mean, you get tired of that shit and you don't really believe it, even though it actually is true. But still, equations are everywhere. You just don't even understand. So if you don't understand how to solve equations, you're basically lost. Now, you could have a life where you never need to solve an equation your entire life, but I'd rather know how to solve it in case there's something I want to do that requires me to know how to do it. So what I'm trying to say is there's going to be a decent number of equations on this final. It's not the only thing that's going to be in the final, so don't only study equations, right? Yes?
So looking at the practice finals, everything that's on there, similar, like as far as ratio of how many problems?
Oh, no. How long do you have for a normal test? Do you remember? How long is class? About how long?
Almost 2 hours.
Almost 2 hours. How long do you have for the final?
2 hours.
So the final is going to have to be about as long as a regular test. You guys understand? So I am going to have to weed some stuff out so I can fit everything on. What exactly am I going to weed out? Well, I'm not going to tell you. Shit. If you actually thought I was going to tell you, you're insane. Because the point of this is to understand stuff. Just because I picked something doesn't mean it's more important. It's just that I had to pick something because there's only so much time. Right? So...
Are you going to throw something in on the corner that's not on here?
The best way to study for this is if you go through the final, the practice final, and you're like, I know all this stuff, I would go back through each test and just make sure that you understand all the stuff on that, right? It's almost impossible for me to put something on the test that's something you've never seen before in this class. It would have to be something from outside. On the bonus, I could do it if I want to, but yeah. Okay. Yes.
Can you convert ML to DL?
Oh, yeah. We didn't talk about metric. What's the metric thing here?
King Henry died last Monday drinking chocolate milk.
I'm like, hot chocolate. I forgot that. Chocolate milk, not hot chocolate.
All right. So I made it specifically for liters because that's what you're asking about, right? And you said from what to what? Decaliters. DAL. All right. There's DAL and there's DL. Right? There's a difference. You gotta be careful. So if I had, I already forgot what you said. From ml to DAL. All right. So if I had 8,140 milliliters, how many decaliters would that be? You go how many places?
2, 3, 4.
What number is it?
Done.
Bing.
Were you watching?
2.
Oh shit. Were you watching there, buddy? It just happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just happened.
I mean, that's it. It's almost too easy to believe. But that's why the metric system is so beautiful. They said, why would we make a system that's not based on 10? That would be insane, like the Americans. Right? And I am one. I'm not saying we're insane. We are literally insane to be using the system we are. We just are. We have a number system based on 10. Here's a measurement system based on 10. Holy shit. Every step you take is just moving the decimal because it's based on 10, right? What happens when you divide by 10? Move the decimal back one. So every step is divide by 10, divide by 10, divide by 10, divide by 10. So just move the decimal 1, 2, 3. Is that cool?
Yeah.
That's why I gave you that King Henry died, blah, 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 because if you remember how to write it out, you could just kind of do this to do the problems.
Changed.
So on the test, I think there were 2 or 3. There were 2. The very first 2 were just metric problems, right? So you could do the King Henry thing for the very first 2 problems on the conversion problem. Yes.
Can you do 1B on the test? The last test?
Oh, everybody had a problem that looked like this. Something like that, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Nobody had this problem, but everybody had this problem.
What?
I've said it so many times this semester. Everybody had a problem that was exactly like this. You just had different letters and numbers. But if you understand what I just said, you're very far along in mathematics. I mean, if you understand that this problem is the same as your problem, it's exactly the same problem, you'll get so much further in math. Because I do the same thing. I know that you guys didn't have a Y in there. Who cares? You have a letter. That's all that matters. Right? You have a letter. Who cares what letter it is, really? What's the worst part of this problem? What do you wish wasn't there? Oh, well, no, it's going to be an equation. Let's say it's got to be an equation. What's the worst part about that equation?
Fraction.
The fraction. It's an equation, though, so what am I allowed to do? What am I allowed to do in an equation? I can do what to both sides? I can multiply by anything I want to except 0. What am I going to multiply by?
Maybe
7.
7, okay.
Yeah, shit, yeah. Because the thing we don't like, and I agree with you, I wish that wasn't there either. It'd be a lot easier, but it is there, shit. But it's divided by 7. So I'm going to multiply everything by 7. So one mistake, everything. Yeah, both sides. So if I multiply this side by 7, do you see how it would have to distribute? That was one big mistake people made, is you left this poor dude out. He's on this side too. He's got to get multiplied. So normally what I do is I just put 7 next to each, so I don't forget anybody. What happens here? It's nice.
49. I mean, sorry.
That's the whole reason we multiply by 7, so that would die, right? So what do I have now? I got y.
7
7 times 2, 14, equals 7y. And now you're 2 steps away from being done. Yes, ma'am?
So if you just had y and the 7 and without the -2, you would just do that?
Just do what? Sorry.
Let's say we add more to that problem, like we put, okay, so it's 7.
Wait.
So you're multiplying each by 7, right?
Yes.
What if we have more like,
Oh, so we had y over 7 minus 2 plus 5y or something?
yeah, more so.
Then you would equals
1 by 7.
y. I would multiply each one by 7. Again, the reason is, again, what's the saying? Whatever I do to one side, I do to the other side. If I multiply this side by 7, well, how do I multiply this side by 7? I take the 7 and I distribute it. Right? So that's why I just say, well, screw it. Let me just put 7 next to each thing so I don't forget anybody from the back, from the get-go.
Okay, and then because it's in parentheses, you still time to them. So you
Yes. So instead of putting 1 7 and forgetting to give it to everybody, let me just put 7 next to each term so I don't forget. Because that 7 would distribute. So let me just go ahead and put them on each term. So, because that was a big thing you guys did, was you forgot to multiply that dude.
Yeah.
But you got to do the same thing to both sides. So this guy can't escape having something done to him. You can't like hide and go, all right.
Okay, so is that it?
So let's see.
No, I mean, like here, what would you do?
-1 both sides.
Okay, okay.
I love you guys. I mean, like we got past the hard part. Now this should be the easy part, right? Then you divide by
6.
6. Then you reduce.
Because the y is the way it was step y. So, you divide it. Wait a minute.
Subtract y
You like the one?
to get the y's together.
Like the one?
Where you get 7 now?
What's
That's 6 from.
Y equals 7 over 3.
Why?
okay?
Right there.
Not that. Y equals 7 over 3.
All right, is everybody cool with what's up there right now?
Spontaneous chaos.
Okay.
I can see it.
So those cancel, right?
Turning red.
Right.
7 times 2.
14.
Is everybody cool with that 7 being there? Why is that 7 there? Because I had to multiply both sides by 7 so I can kill the, yeah. So, alright, is everybody cool with what's there?
Yes.
Okay. Now, how do I solve that equation? What's the one thing that's in the wrong place? The y. Now, I still have people doing this kind of craziness. Y plus y is 2y. Just doubled the problem. I don't want any y's over there, so I better make sure that what I do actually kills the problem.
Oh, you negative, yeah, negative.
So negative 14 equals, what's 7 y's? Take away a y. 6 y's. That's where the 6 came from. Not a big deal. You just do the steps. Do the steps. And then divide by 6 to get to where it got.
You got 7 y, you take away that big 6. That's 6.
And 6 goes into 14.
Divide by 2, divide by 2, right? Reduce it.
Oh, you
Reduce it, yeah. But you guys so often, if you see a complete problem, you go, all right, here's where you started. How did you get there? How did you? No, all right, we got to go every step. The end of a problem so often doesn't look like anything in the middle. That's why some of the worst problems in the world for a problem, in a book you'll see, prove that this equals this. And you're like, that doesn't look at all like that, but you got to just do the steps. Right? It just doesn't look, that doesn't look like this at all. Of course it doesn't, because you got to go through the steps to get there, right? I mean,
Yes.
and I know you know the steps. I know you do. I understand that. I second that. Anybody having a decent time in the tutoring center? Anybody going to the tutoring center? Are they helping you out? Everybody remember their tutoring center exists here for free?
I have a friend who's like a mechanical.
Do you ever take advantage of that?
Yeah. I think a lot of students, for some reason nowadays, think that you're supposed to get everything you need in the classroom. That is insanity. It's insanity. Doesn't mean I'm not doing my job. It just means that's a part of what it takes, is getting help outside of class. Including for me, nobody basically from this class comes to see me in my office.
You don't have stalkers?
Not from this class.
I've stalked you a couple times.
Well, that's not a stalker.
I'm an occasional stalker.
That guy saw that guy twice. Get the cops on that. No, I mean, go on. I want you to stalk me. I want you to be there all the time. Hey, Joe, oh my God.
Okay.
That's it.
Be careful what you're asking.
That's it. All right. It's
You
gonna
might
happen.
have the job coach
It's gonna
there.
happen. You'll be like, holy shit, you're not even in my class. What are you doing here? Math.
No, I have people from past classes that come by. It's funny when I have more people from my past classes than I do from my current classes. That's really not funny at all. It happens.
Then
It's
I'm
happened.
allowed to go in there?
Huh?
Then I'm allowed to go in there?
You're allowed to come in? Sure. Why not?
Okay.
You're in the classroom. You can come in there. You
Okay.
can come in there anytime you want to.
Okay.
I'll kick you out if I got to go.
Oh, okay. There we go. Now we started.
I'll kick anybody out of my classroom, out of my office if I have to go. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so if it's x equals 0 over 2, the answer would be 2.
What's 0 divided by 2?
Which note?
Don't put your shoulders up. Think about it.
I can't know.
0 divided by 2 is the number that you multiply 2 by to get 0.
The one thing they give you
What do you multiply by 2 to get 0?
is
0.
Also, the answer is 0.
So another way to look at it is, what's half of nothing? Nothing. Right? Cut nothing into any number of parts, and you still end up with nothing in each part.
No matter what, that zero on the top is going to be 0.
The zero's on the bottom, it's
It's going to
undefined.
be the number itself.
Well, no, it's undefined.
Next slide.
But it's 2 over 0,
Right.
There you go. Now we're talking English.
undefined.
Just a sec.
We've talked about that before. You guys remember that? You can't divide by 0, right?
Right.
The answer to it is officially undefined. Because there's no number defined and multiply by 0 to make 2.
Right.
So that's why we call it undefined.
So then that would be equals undefined.
Yes, exactly. It's undefined. Yeah. No, that's the square root of -1.
No, it's why? Just a second.
Wait, are you asking about what? Are you asking about problem I? Oh, I'm sorry. The letter I in mathematics means something specific. Sorry. Oh, no, problem. Oh, you want to see problem I? Okay. So, are you talking about the practice final or the practice final? Or the test? The test? 5x plus 4, that, or whatever. There's like many different. Okay, yeah.
Looks easy, but I think I got confused.
So guys, if I try to solve this equation, what would I do first to solve this equation? Distribute. All right, for whoever's paying attention. There's an official answer. There's no answer up here yet.
Okay.
I haven't written the answer. -7 equals -7. Wow, that's earth-shaking. But when is this true? Is this ever not true? Is -7 ever not equal to -7? This is always true, right? So this is all real numbers work. No matter what x is, this is going to work. Because when is... This, the answer to this would be all real numbers.
That 0 is equal to 0.
That's not an answer. That's not an answer. That's doesn't mean anything.
The answer is all real numbers.
What about if you guys did
Huh?
Because they're equal.
So some of you guys had one that was like -8 equals 0.
Yeah.
That would be no solution. That's never true. If it's -8 equals 0, it's no solution.
So I put no solution.
If it's not true, there's no solution.
Okay, then.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so for test number 4, H, I don't know. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I don't know either. You subtracted a from one side, but not the other.
But I didn't get, then I would get no A's.
Yeah, you get 0 equals -4,
Yeah,
which is
that's
not
not
true, so the answer is no solution. No trick. We talked about that earlier this semester. Oh, yeah. Guys, do you not remember, I think, my go-to example would be a lemonade stand setting up the equation to see what they need to make $18 billion this year. The equation should come out with no solution. There's no freaking way in hell they're going to make $18 billion. You guys understand? There are equations that have no solution because there's no way to make them work. So if I said, what number do I add 1 to? And they get the same thing as adding 3 to that number. Is there any number I can add 1 to, and it's the same as if I added 3 to it?
Yeah.
If you think it's yes, tell me what the number is now, please, so I can achieve nirvana. I mean, you tell it to me, I go, whoa, I'll ascend. I'll become pure energy. Like the movie Powder. You ever seen Powder?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
Sean Patrick Flannery.
Yes, exactly. Excellent movie. Yeah. If I subtract x from both the sides, a lot of you guys are so nice. You try to save the x. No x, but let the x fall, and you stay on the door, right? And the Titanic is going and everything. So the x's die. They're dead. 1 equals 3, and you're like, and then people circle that. No. So what this means is there's no way to save this equation's ass. This equation has no answer. We knew that from the beginning. It's a bogus equation. It's bogus. So there's no solution. If you think about it, there has to be equations that have no solution, because I can't just make up an equation out of nowhere and expect it to always have an answer. Math can't save it from weirdness. There's no way for this to work. Now the opposite of that is, what number can I add 1 to and it's the same as when I add 1 to it? Is there any number that's not true for? If I add 1 to a number, is it the same as adding 1 to the number? Yes. So if I solve this equation, the answer should be every real number. Every number has this property, doesn't it? And sure enough, if I subtract x, I get 1 equals 1. That is always true. So the answer is all real numbers. No matter what x is, and that's why x cancels. No matter what x is, it's true. This one, no matter what x is, it's false. So there's no way to save this equation's ass by assigning x a value. There's no value for x that will make it work.
I don't know, I didn't realize that I could just get rid of the x's without a number attached to them.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think of them as